Next up, we have Building a World Where Every Child Experiences Play. Your moderator is Pamela Mastrota.
Thank you so much, and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming to our session today. I'm excited for you to meet our panelists. I just want to briefly tell you that the Toy Foundation is the philanthropic arm of the Toy Association, which runs this incredible show today. And our mission is getting the benefits of play to children in need all around the country and all around the world, too, with our relationships that we'll talk about today. So we'll start out with introductions of my esteemed panelists and partners that we work with. And we'll start with Deb, Jazwares.
Hello, my name is Deb Silver, and I am the Senior Manager of Community Relations at Jazwares.
Shelby.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shelby Dettlinger. I serve as the National Program Manager for Education for World Vision's U.S. programs.
Hi, everybody. My name is David Hung. I'm the Chief Program Officer of Hope for New York.
Hello, my name is Tammy Smitham. I'm the VP of Communications and Corporate Citizenship for Spinmaster.
Thank you so much for the introductions. These are such critical relationships to the Toy Foundation and the children that we serve. We have given 35 million toys to children in the last 20 years and would not be able to do it without these partners. So I wanted to start out with the why of why you think it's so important to give back and help children in need.
Sure. I actually started my career working for a children's nonprofit, and I was really able to see firsthand how many kids have to experience such adult situations and how important it is for them to be given the opportunity to just be kids and experience the joy of play.
Thanks, Deb. Shelby?
Yeah, definitely from the the nonprofit side of things, working with children in the United States, we World Vision directly targets communities and populations of children that are under-resourced. So I think it's so important for us to be able to not only offer the essentials of life, but especially for children, giving toys and being able to have them have something of their own is so important for the children that we work with.
So maybe a little bit about Hope for New York is probably new to many of you. Hope for New York is an organization that connects individuals with nonprofits all across New York City to provide tangible hope to New Yorkers in need. And so the way we do that is we provide financial assistance, we help mobilize volunteers for the nonprofits we serve, we provide capacity building trainings, and then opportunities for collaboration and connection amongst our partner organizations. And maybe just a few sobering stats as to why we believe play and toys are so important to kids. I don't know if any New Yorkers saw last week, but Robin Hood and Columbia University just released a study last week that showed that 1 in 4 New Yorkers aren't able to just afford essentials. So housing, food, even just medical care. And the poverty rate in New York City is twice that of the national average. Many of you may be familiar with NYCHA, which is New York City's affordable housing program. The population of NYCHA housing in New York City is almost 600,000 people, right? So that's the size of New Orleans or Boston living in low-income housing. So you can imagine those kids are not afforded as much opportunity to play as many of the rest of us. And then maybe the last really sobering, eye-opening stat is in the New York City public school system, there are about 1 million kids. Of those 1 million kids, almost 150,000 of those kids are considered homeless, meaning they don't have a reliable place to put their head to sleep every single night. And so, as you can imagine, with that kind of need, for these kids, play and fun is really such a critical outlet and release for them.
Thanks, David.
Just thank you, Dave. Building off that, I think sometimes we might take play for granted and not necessarily realize how many foundational skills come with the ability to play, social skills, emotional skills. And I think, while sometimes it might be so simple about the thought of giving a child a toy, it's like the magic that you see on their face, the smile that it evokes, In some of the cases where we're bringing toys, a child has never had a toy. And that's just so hard, I think, for us to believe, because we ourselves make toys every day and make millions of toys every day. So I think it's foundational. And I think without having that opportunity to have that escapism and that joy, it's a multi-generational effect. So that's what we're seeing. We're hoping that by seeding with children with play now, that they can develop those skills and carry them on and share them with the generations to come.
Thanks, Tammy. As some of you may know, the Toy Foundation just went through a refresh of its brands, of its programs, and one is Toy Chest. And this is the only industry-wide giving program. And where we get those donations are from many of the people in the companies in this room. And after Toy Fair, we do a collection with World Vision to collect about 30 to 40,000 toys, which then get distributed throughout the country. So I'd love to hear from the panel about why you think the corporate social responsibility, which is what that is so important to your mission.
Definitely. So as you alluded to, this past year, being able to engage with the Toy Foundation it has been just such a incredible partnership and blessing for us. We have been utilizing the donations and the toys throughout the year. We've had 4 major disaster responses in this country over the past year. And that is one of the things that we are utilizing these for. So if you can, in your mind's eye, see a family coming to a distribution and a child's in the back seat and they've lost everything, and you present that child with a toy. And I was just talking about this, how important, like I said, that is something that child owns. That is something allows that child to feel normalcy. That also allows that child to be able to control their environment, and really the impact that it has, especially on children that have gone through the level of trauma that a disaster often causes with children. We cannot thank you enough. The other thing that World Vision has been doing is we've been putting these toys in a product that we offer teachers around the country, and it's classroom wellbeing kits. And these are amazing kits that, especially since COVID, a lot of our students are really having trouble paying attention, being able to, really kind of manage emotions and manage behaviors. And a lot of the toys that have been donated to us, we're really utilizing in those and being able to get these kits into under-resourced classrooms across the country. And the feedback that we have gotten, we cannot thank you enough for the opportunity, because we could not do this without the Toy Foundation. So
Thanks, Shelby. And to extend on that, when we started our relationship with World Vision really only a year or so ago, and one of our donors came to us with a kind of call to action to the toy industry and said, we want to raise funds and product for the children and families in Ukraine. We did not have that capacity set up. So World Vision gave us the opportunity to move product to specific ports that we had not had the experience with. So that touch point for being able to respond, and the LA wildfires most recently, within 24 to 48 hours, because they have 7 distribution sites throughout the country, was able to move product along, obviously, with the most needed product for families in evacuation sites. But the children then had access to toys too, which was an unexpected gift for them as well. So we really appreciate that. I want to see Sarah, I'm looking at Sarah, Jazwares. But Deb, could you talk to and Tammy about your relationship with the Toy Foundation and why and how you've worked with us to really emphasize your CSR initiatives as well?
Sure, absolutely. I think an important, point to note is that at Jazwares, Giving back is truly part of our fabric. It's part of who we are and what we do every single day. With that said, the Toy Foundation has really helped us to grow that mission and grow that vision because they're able to reach partners that we sometimes cannot, and they're able to connect us with some of these amazing organizations, many grassroots, smaller organizations that we wouldn't have the opportunity to connect with without the Toy Foundation. And it's really helped us grow our CSR efforts.
Thanks so much, Deb. Tammy?
Yeah, well, we give out thousands of toys every year, but sometimes giving a toy sounds like a very easy thing to do, but it's not always. So what I love about working with the Toy Foundation is that we can literally have something in our warehouse that needs to get out of the warehouse in a week and to children very quickly. And sometimes with working with partners who may not have warehousing opportunities, places to take them in and places to provide them. Even with LA, we found like we work with Baby to Baby as well, but their warehousing was jam-packed. So being able to work with the Toy Foundation, they're so nimble in being able to pick up our toys very quickly and then get them to the people in need very quickly in a very cost-effective way. So I think that's where, again, building on what Deb said, just building on our programs that we already have, but having a partner we can turn to very quickly and say, listen, we have these toys, we want to get them out in the next 2 weeks, and you guys are always there to help us do that.
Thanks, Tammy. David, could you maybe reflect, because our connection and relationship is a little bit newer, but maybe the same question, how we've worked together and how we can continue to work together to support your mission.
Yeah, absolutely. Our partnership with the Toy Foundation has been one of the probably biggest blessings from a partnership perspective for Hope for New York since I've been there. One of the big kind of tentpole events we hold every Christmas is a program called His Toy Store. And what we do is we provide funding to our nonprofit partners across the entire city to host pop-up Christmas shops for moms to be able to shop for a Christmas present for their kid. Because for most of these parents, this may be the only toy they're able to give their kid for Christmas. And prior to the Toy Foundation partnership, we provided financial grants to each of these partners to basically run the whole shop. But most of that budget actually went to purchasing toys. And so they would go to Target or Amazon or wherever the dollar store to go buy those toys. And as you can imagine, it's expensive. The quality of the toys was highly variable. It just wasn't a really consistent experience. And by virtue of meeting Aaron and Pam from the Toy Foundation, when I told them about the program, they're like, "You are giving people money to go buy toys. Like, that's crazy. That's exactly why we exist. Like, why are we not working together?" And so the partnership has been amazing. This past Christmas, through the help of World Vision's distribution capabilities, we received over 5,000 toys. We served nearly 20,000 kids at 50 toy stores all throughout the city. And it was just an incredible program where the toys were just amazing, high quality toys. The kids were just so excited to be able to take home and open on Christmas Day. So it's just been an amazing partnership, and we're really, really grateful for it.
Thanks, David. And I'm wondering too, and please feel free to ask questions, because one of our goals obviously is to grow our programs. Another program that we just refreshed and brand was our Play Grants program, which is now our Play Fund. And this program funds children's hospitals around the country. So we have funded over $1.5 million to hospitals, and it's specific to hospitals that are under-resourced and underrepresented across the country. I wonder just if you could reflect on how we might be able to grow our initiative, because really, even in this toy fair, and when we look at our data for how many companies give to us, we're not even halfway there. So our goal is to get to 50 million. Last year we had 35 million toys. So we're so excited for the growth, but there's so much more opportunity. Any reflection or ideas or suggestions for us of how we can grow the programs that we currently have?
One of the things I was going to say is just we're a big toy company. So we have the ability to fund programs. We have the ability to move things around. I think there's a lot of smaller toy companies who maybe don't have the infrastructure that we have that would look for the opportunity to be able to anchor and support some of the initiatives that the Toy Foundation has. So I think perhaps appealing to those smaller companies who may not have the resources that we are so fortunate to have. And then I also think some of the initiatives that the Toy Foundation has recently launched in terms of trade shows and things like that, being able to donate toys right after the trade show and not have to pack it all back up again and bring it home, I think has been so impactful. So I really applaud you for the way that you are reaching out and getting more toy donations as well.
Thanks, Tammy. Anyone else?
Well, I would also say that actually through your partnership with World Vision, it's been really wonderful because you have been able to accept so much product and to be able to expand and accept it quickly. And so I think that continuing to work with partners like that will help to grow the programs.
Yeah, I just want to reflect on what everybody was saying. I mean, World Vision is, the partnership with the Toy Foundation is just, it makes so much sense because what World Vision does very well in the United States is that we move product quickly and in a way that makes business sense. So we're open to being able to, no matter what size your organization or your company is, we want to work with you. We want to figure out, how we can best serve the Toy Foundation and serve more kids.
I'll just quickly add, as the recipient and distributing organization, I know there are probably a lot of smaller toy manufacturers out there where you might feel like, oh, I only have a few toys. It's not, is it really going to make a difference? Do they really need it? And I'll say from our perspective, I would say absolutely, right? When you're serving 15,000 kids, ages baby through, 12, 14, 16, you can imagine we got a lot of different interests, a lot of different genders, a lot of different ethnicities. Like the kids want a wide selection of toys. And being able to have that huge selection that World Vision can help accommodate is, hugely impactful to the populations and communities that we serve.
Thank you all for that. There's a couple of ways to get involved, and I hope you've all noticed the additional signage this year throughout Toy Fair to get involved in terms of there's auction that we celebrated the Toy of the Year awards on Friday night. And there's an auction that's still open until the end of the day tomorrow. So we encourage you to take a look in the QR codes and even for donation. So we are constantly looking to the toy community and even externally to donate to our organization to provide play for kids. I would just ask if you would want the audience here to learn, and the industry as a whole, to take away one thing from today. What would that be? Or more than one?
I can start. I think that it's just really important for all of us to remember how deeply all of us here and across, this whole room really believe in the power of play. And I believe that if we continue to work together, we can achieve so much more through these partnerships and just provide joy to so many more children.
Yeah, I think definitely, again, how, from the perspective of World Vision, how incredibly honored we are to work with the foundation. And I think, just keeping in mind that even if we're taught, we say toys, but toys can be game-changing and can be life-changing for a child that doesn't have a lot. And I've seen that firsthand, whether it is the worst day of their life or the best day of their life. And so I just really want to convey how grateful we are to be able to have this opportunity, and to really encourage, if you are interested in doing this type of partnership or this type of work, we would love to talk to you.
Yeah, I would just echo everything that's been said. Working and getting to work with so many different nonprofit organizations throughout the city, you almost take for granted in your business how actually important toys are, because most nonprofits are so focused on providing the basic needs. They're running soup kitchens and food pantries and providing warm coat dries and providing school supplies, meeting the basic necessities. But for the kids, toys are a basic necessity. They need it, and nobody is providing it. And you guys have the unique ability to help fill that gap and fill that need. And that's why we're just so grateful for this partnership with World Vision and Toy Fair.
We host an event every year called Caring and Sharing, where we welcome kids from breakfast programs in Toronto. We're based in Canada. And the children get to come in and pick a toy for themselves, and then they get to pick a toy for somebody else in their life. So they get to both give and receive, which is amazing. But our employees, it's one of our biggest employee volunteerism events of the year, and we have about 300 of our employees come out and help run the day. I think for organizations like World Vision and for Hope for New York and for even the Toy Foundation, the more you can get people involved in having that hands-on experience and seeing the look on the child's face when they're looking at the toy, they're shopping for the toy for something else, you saying mom's shopping for their kids, to be able to get that firsthand, it inspires you to want to go back and do more. So I think the more that organizations can actually welcome in volunteer opportunities, I think that's another big way to build. And everybody feels good at the end of the day. The kid feels good and the employee feels good on the way home. So I think volunteerism is a big, important part that we need to continue to look at in the future.
Great. Thank you all. We do have time for questions, too. We've got a nice crowd here. If you have any questions for our panelists, Anne will be coming around with the microphone. We'd love to. I do want to introduce my colleague, for those of you that are in the industry and have toy companies, for toy donations as well, even though it's on the app. It is on the app. But Erin, if you could just wave for quick. She has been working so hard, and we will be working with World Vision tomorrow night to do what happens is an incredible sweep of 40,000 toys on how many trucks? 14. And many, many pallets of toys. But any questions from anyone in the audience that we can address for you? Okay, don't want to leave anybody out. Well, thank you all for being here. And we'll be here for a few minutes for any questions. And thank you to Jazwares and to Spinmaster for your continued support. We really appreciate product and the dollars and your time. Tammy's a board member. Deb has been with us for a few years now, committing some incredible time and energy and talent. And World Vision and David and Shelby have been just true partners, and we're so excited to continue to grow our relationship. So thank you all for being here today, and enjoy the rest of Toy Fair.